appointed in different places. At the time of Umar radiallahu anh, the Islam spread throughout 6 subcontinents at that time. It spread almost throughout the world at that time, whatever was present at that time. It almost spread everywhere. So he called some person who was one of the ministers of that area. So when he came to visit him, he asked him, who did you appoint when you came as a substitute? He said that, I appointed one slave. He said that, ثَكِلَتْكَ أُمَّكَ. That he said, doom to us, you have appointed one slave to be the leader. He said that he is hafiz bi kitabillah, and he knows the faraid of Islam and Deen, and is a hafiz of Quran, and he knows the faraid, and he is a scholar and a hafiz. So then he said that, Umar radiallahu anh, he said that, he started crying. فَدَمَعَتْ عَيْنُ عُمَرَ radiallahu anh. He started crying and weeping, and he said that what the Prophet ﷺ said is true. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَيَضَعُ بِهَا أَقْوَامًا وَيَضَعُ بِهَا آخَرِينَ. Through this book, through this Quran, Allah will elevate people, and through this Quran, people will be disrespected. That's why Ali radiallahu anh, he says that like everybody has a desire. Everybody has a desire. These desires are found in almost it's a natural thing, natural phenomenon, natural thing in every human being. Everybody wants to be the most respected, and that he wants the honor, he wants to be rich, and he wants to be heard, and people listen to him. And it says that, like the hadith says, من اعتمد على من أراد ذلا من أراد غنى بلا مال وعزا بلا عشيرة وسلطانا ووجاهة بلا سلطان فليخرج من ذل معصية الله إلى عزة طاعة الله. It says in the hadith, Ali radiallahu anhu says, من أراد عزا بلا عشيرة. A person wants respect, but he does not have many relatives. وغنى بلا مال. And he wants to be the most richest person, but he does not have money. وَوَجَاهَةً بِلَا سُلْطَانٍ. And he wants to have kingdom, but he is not a king. And he wants everybody to listen. So what he should do, it is everybody's desire. He wants to be most respected, most richest, and everybody listen to him, respect him. So he said, فَلْيَخْرُجْ مِنْ ذِلِّ مَعْصَيَةِ اللَّهِ لِعَزَّ طَاعَةِ اللَّهِ. Then he should get out from the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and enter into the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and hold the Quran. Act upon the Quran, then he would get all the respect and all the richness, and he would have his kingdom, people would respect him. And whatever he wants, he would get done. So this is what the hadith says, that through this Quran, who will act upon it, he will be elevated. That whoever and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, like I said in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ قَوْمِ وَقَالَ الرَّسُولِ يَا رَبِّ إِنَّ قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. The Prophet ﷺ said that my people have left the Quran. And when the Prophet ﷺ was departing from this world, he said, I have left with you sunnatan. And if you will hold them, you will be respected and you will not be wasted. And you will be elevated. Kitabullah wa Sunnah, the Quran and the Hadith. But if you leave this, you will be humiliated. So he said while departing from this world, I have taraktu fikum sunnatan. I have left with you two things not to be misguided. One is Kitabullah and Sunnah. That is Quran and the Hadith. And the Ummah has left the Quran, which means that there are three things. One is reciting, and the other thing is acting upon it. And the third is pondering on it. Ibn Abbas he says that one who does not, مَنْ لَمْ يَخْتُمُ الْقُرْآنِ فِي شَهْرٍ فَقَدْ هَجَرَهُ, who does not finish a Quran in 1 month, that he is hajar of Quran. He is taking it easy to the Quran. He is not taking the Quran. He's not reading the Quran properly. This is what Ibn Abbas says. And so this is the strong words of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anh. And the others, they say, So especially in the month of Ramadan, this is a special month. It should be read excessively in the month of Ramadan. And throughout the year, it says, there are other scholars, they have been a little lenient on that. This is Ibn Abbas says, that at least in 1 month, they should finish the Quran, or else it is hajar. That means he is neglecting the Quran. That is hujur, that was it means in Arabic. But the other scholars, they have said that they give more than that time, 3 or 4 months, some of the scholars they give. But the first, of course, Ibn Abbas it is more better. And it says that itlu al-Quran, read the Quran, that because of reading the Quran, and when a person reads Quran, فَإِنَّ عَلِيهِ itlu al-Quran وَالْحَسَنِ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْجُرُكُمْ عَلَى تِلَاوَةِ الْقُرْآنِ. Allah gives the reward on reading the Quran. On every letter we get the reward. وَالْحَسَنَةُ بِعَشْرِ أَمْثَالِهَا كُلَّ حَرْفٍ بِحَسَنَةٍ. On every letter we get a deed, and every deed is taken to 10 deeds. لا أقول ألف لام ميم حرف بل ألف حرف ولام حرف وميم حرف. When you read the Quran, on every letter we get a deed, and a deed is added to 10. That means on every letter of the Quran we get 10 deeds. If a person reads Alif Lam Mim, for example, Qul, these are 2 letters. Qul Huwa Allah. Qul Huwa, these are 4 letters. Qaf Lam is 2, Huwa, Ha and Waw, these are 4 letters. So on these 4 letters, it is like it says Alif Lam, La aqulu alifan harfan, bal alifan harfan wa lamun harfan wa mimun harf. Alif itself is a word. So Qaf itself is a word, Lam itself is a word, and Ha and Waw itself is a word. In the beginning of the Quran, if you read Alif Lam Mim, so in these 3 letters we get 30 rewards. And if it is recited with ablution, it is more rewarded. And then in the Salah, it gets more. It gets on every letter, the reward goes to 100. We read Alif Lam Mim in the Quran, in the Salah, then this reward goes to 100. On every letter we get 100 reward. And then in the month of Ramadan, it is multiplied to every good deed to 70, to 700, to 1,000 times. That means that if we recite Alif Lam Mim, so that 100 into 70 times, or 100 into 1,000 times, Allah knows best. That is the reward on every letter in the Salah, in the month of Ramadan, in the Taraweeh. But unfortunately, many people just leave the Taraweeh. Some pray 8, some pray 10, and some pray just in the beginning and the last of the Ramadan, and the last they leave. And some they don't pray at all. But we don't try to leave this bonus and benefit. It is the only month. The only month we could gain a lot. So just a little bit difficulty, stay in the Taraweeh, reading, listening to the Taraweeh, and reciting without that. Whatever we know we can read, we recite the Quran. There's many rewards. It says that those who read the Quran, especially for the Hafiz of Quran, it says that اقرأ ورتل فإن منزلتك عند آخر آية تقرأها. The one who is Hafiz of Quran, he will be told that keep on reading and start elevating the levels of paradise. So when and every ayah he will be elevated on the paradise until he reaches the last ayah. فإن منزلتك عند آخر آية تقرأها. There are 6,666 verses in the Quran. So he will be reading every verse and he will be elevating on that, in the paradise. So, and it says the one who there is no hasad, لا حسد إلا في اثنتين. And this is for the Hafiz of Quran. And who are not Hafiz, even if they are not Hafiz, but if they are reading excessively, who read a lot of the Quran, it says about them that there is no jealousy except for 2 people. Who are those? These are the one of them is that في تلاوة القرآن يقرأها آناء الليل وأطراف النهار. For the person who reads the Quran day and night excessively. So if a person wants to have jealousy, there's jealousy only for this. But this jealousy, it's in a different meaning. In Arabic it means ليس حسد بل غبطة. غبطة is a jealousy, and غبطة, there's a difference between it. A jealousy is a person has $1 million. Person A has $1 million. I would say, I wish he loses $1 million and I get his $1 million. This is jealousy. And ghibta is that what Allah has given, Allah give him more and give me the same. That is ghibta, this kind of jealousy. That what a person is doing, he's reading Quran, there is jealousy, which is ghibta, for two kind of people. A person who reads the Quran excessively day and night, and the person who spends in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only for these two people, a person can have a jealousy in that way, which is called ghibta. And it says that the one who does not have any Quran in his heart, kalbayt al-kharab, the one who does not have, has not memorized any part of the Quran in his heart, it is a house which is destroyed, which is abandoned, which is broken. That which the heart which does not have any part of the Quran at all. So, and the Prophet said, I wish everybody had the heart of the Quran in their hearts. And the heart of the Quran is Surah Yasin. And the Prophet said that, إن في القرآن سورة 30